Yes, Yinlin is worth your pulls, and here are 3 reasons why. With the most important one being her versatility. Yinlin can fit into virtually every team as she can fulfill 3 different roles, being the sub DPS, a quick swap DPS, or even the main DPS. But this is less than ideal because she doesn't have any specific thing in her kit to optimally take advantage of the field time. However, Yinlin's flexibility allows you to complement her with the other 2 teammates in a variety of team comps, with the most notable one being Kalcharo, Yinlin, and Verina, where you can play Yinlin purely as an off-field DPS, or you can play a more quick swap style with her. But if you don't have the set characters, then a more free-to-play friendly team is Havoc Rover, Yinlin, and Baija, where she can fulfill the same roles as the previous team, with the caveat of having much less synergy with Rover. And here are some additional team ideas that can be viable. However, versatility doesn't mean much if she's a master of none. Luckily, that isn't the case, and her damage output is very good for a sub DPS, dealing a sizable amount of damage to complement your main DPS's damage, with a good chunk of it dealt through her ultimate. But the majority of her damage output is actually dealt through her forte, which counts as skill damage, and it can be dealt from off-field after you hit a target with a punishing mark. This punishing mark is the bread and butter of her kit, so make sure that you activate it by firstly casting a normal attack or her ultimate attack to get a Cinder's mark. Afterwards, hit the same target with her forte to transform it into a punishing mark. And this makes her an amazing sub DPS and bring us to the next point of her not needing a lot of field time. Because all you need to do is cast all of her abilities and then swap out to the next character, and she would deal a sizable amount of damage from off field. And you can even optimize this with swap cancels to further increase her field time efficiency, making her an amazing off-field DPS because it allows you to spend more time on field with your main DPS. And upon switching out, you can trigger her outro skill to buff the next character, which is her next strong point of bringing out the best from her teammates with her buffing potential. This works especially well with Kalcharo, as he can take advantage of everything that she offers with her outro skill, that being the Resonance Liberation bonus damage and the Electro damage bonus. Sanhua can also take advantage of the Resonance Liberation buff, albeit to a much lesser degree than Kalcharo, whose damage is mostly through his ult. But don't worry if you don't have Kalcharo, because Yinlin can also take advantage of the Moonlit Echo set, that can further buff your character by 22.5% attack and also 12% damage bonus. Fortunately, this doesn't come at too much of a cost of her personal damage, as you will only lose around 5 to 10% of your damage compared to the Void Thunder set. And also another bonus of using the Moonlit set is that it's much easier to build if you decide to go with it, because there are 4 Elite Class Echoes to choose from, versus the 2 Elite Class Echo in the Void Thunder set. This fact alone makes it much easier to obtain an on-set Electro Damage Echo. And if you are having a hard time finding an on-set Echo, then you can obtain them via the reward from the Elusive Dream event. Or alternatively, you can use a 4-4-1-1-1 build, meaning you will use 2 crit echoes and 3 1-cost echoes. Now don't get tempted with the much better crit ratio that this build provides. It is actually much less optimal for her personal damage and is only recommended as a temporary build until you find that elusive electro damage bonus echo. For all of those reasons, Yinlin is truly a top tier unit that will improve your team. With her versatility and the Tower of Adversity required in 3 teams, she will most likely have a firm stand in the meta for quite some time and will withstand the test of time, and that's why she is worth your pulls.